Start recording.
Oh, it says that you've started the recording process.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Now, aren't we? Right,
Oh, yeah, I can see us. Do you need to? We are live in the group. Yay. Tuesday afternoon.
At last.
Yay.
How ridiculous has that been?
That's been about 15-20 minutes, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah, because we always start early.
Yeah.
Oh, hello everybody. We're a bit surprised to be here.
I think you were about ready to start screaming at someone, weren't you?
It's certainly getting short-tempered with it, because there's just no need, is there?
No, there's not. Rude program.
Oh well, Emma Jane Sadler's watching, so you know we've
Yay! Number one fan.
She is. She can't bear to miss anything.
Well, you know, that's what it is. She's got a lot of FOMO going on.
Yeah. So, yeah, I made a load more of those mask mates last night, but I haven't done much else. I've written my shopping list.
Do you know, I've done the exact same thing. I'm going out tonight at about 6:30.
And I've piles of miscellaneous buttons around the place.
Excellent. Have you been doing a button hunt?
I have been doing a button hunt on the basis that I felt like I needed to have some clue what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one of those things that I did look on eBay, and I've had a look on quite a few places.
Anything about
large packs of buttons? Yeah, I mean, most of the prices are slightly higher, but you can expect that, can't you? And then I've had several phone calls today from people saying, your shop's not open. And they say, I don't have a shop. Everywhere that Woolly is listed, it says we are online only. Have a look at the website.
It says it. I mean, I've been to your website a few times, and it's there straight away as soon as the homepage loads. We are an online shop.
Yeah. Well, can you open? I said no, because I'm in Ulverston and you're not. So, no. Could I make an appointment? No.
Yeah, but even if you had a physical shop, you probably wouldn't be open at the moment anyway, would you?
Well, my friend Pat has a wool shop in the market hall, and she's not open because the council have told her that she's not essential.
Yeah.
And she didn't have any kind of online presence. And I mean, I think what's probably worse is that she sat at home, she's making one of Lucy at Attic 24's harmony blankets, and she's run out of the wool that she needs.
Oh no!
And she can't even go and get it. I mean, how frustrating is that?
You couldn't even write it though, could you? It's just awful, bless her.
It is.
So she's not allowed to even go in and check that everything's okay?
She possibly could, but I don't know that she wants to.
Right.
Well, someone's just asking me on Facebook what size buttons you need for the mask mates. Do one smaller than 3/4 of an inch work? What's 3/4 of an inch?
Not very big.
2 centimetres. You might get away with 1/2 inch.
It has to be big enough to keep the thingy on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the problem. Don't want things pinging off here, there and everywhere.
Oh yeah, you'd have to have very fine elastic, and that would just cut into you like a garrote, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be nice at all.
Oh
It's
no.
making me wince just at the thought of it. Never mind anybody else.
I know. And like they're wearing these things for hours upon hours upon
Yeah,
hours.
I feel like I've got a lot of screen going on with this. We have the eyes on screen, which is what you and I are on, and then we
Yeah,
have the Facebook Live producer screen,
right.
which is where you switch it all off, end it, or whatever, and delete it if you don't like it. And then we've got the one where anybody else is watching.
So
Usually we
you got
just
it.
have Zoom or Facebook, and
You flick, don't you?
that is a vicious rumour. I throw.
No comment. I'm just checking. My top of my desk isn't on properly, and one of these days you're gonna lose me because the whole thing's just like crashed.
I told you my dad did that when his barrel seat tipped back and
No.
his leg, he leaned back in it. It's like a
Yeah.
recliner thing.
Right.
And the base, something snapped. And he went
Oh.
backwards. And I was taking minutes of the meeting with this guy, Steve Paczynski. And the look on Steve's face, it was like a slow motion scene from a cartoon. Because my dad went backwards and Steve and I went like this. And the table went up. He hit the underside of the table with his leg. And the whole top of this ox blood and
Oh.
oxford leather and what inlaid desk just sort of flew towards us. So we're trying to get out of the way of that while picking him up. And he's on his back in this sort of half barrel shaped chair, captain's chair. And he just
Yeah.
looked like a beetle on its back. He was sort of rocking side to side trying to get over, and it was really funny.
I was going to say, is that one of those occasions where you really want to laugh, but you feel like you shouldn't,
Well, we were
just in
all
case he's
laughing.
hurt
That was
himself?
part of the problem because you lose all your strength, don't you? And then you can't pick them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm
once you
not the most
start,
supportive.
your
I'm
poor
liking the
daddy.
headband.
Do you like it?
Yeah,
It's covering up all my my silvers.
I
But
thought you
actually,
were
they
going to
look really
embrace
prominent
them.
there. Can you see that?
Well, I can see them, but I don't know that they're prominent. I think they're
I
just
don't
like, can
know.
you see them on mine? Because they look sort of
They
highlighted.
look
They're not,
on
they're
yours.
definitely greys.
Yeah, yours definitely look like random highlights, and they're lovely.
No,
For some reason,
no, look at
mine,
those on the top. Look how
well,
textured
mine are
they are.
all just here at my temples, and I don't quite understand.
Are there any
Really?
Mallons in your family history?
Any what?
Mallons, the Mallon streak. Do you remember that on the telly?
I know what it looks like, but I don't know who they are. Who are
Or
the
it was
Mallons?
they were, I can't remember who wrote the stories. It was a series about a wealthy family, and the Mallons all had this grey streak. And there seemed to be an awful lot of people in the village who also had grey streaks, but weren't Mallons.
Not officially.
No.
No, my dad only recently went fully grey in about the last, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 years, and he's in his mid 70s. In
Right.
fact, I was watching last night a few James Galway videos on YouTube, and there was one that was quite recent of him, and he looked nothing like he used to look. And I sent a picture of it to my brother and sister. I said, "My God, is this Dad? It looks just like Dad." I'll have to send you the picture. I've done like a split screen, you know, like what we look like. You on one side, me. I've put James Galway and I've put my dad, and my sister was just laughing.
Well, maybe you need to have a chat with your mum.
Maybe, well, do you know what? I think I'd like some of his money, that's for sure. He could give me one of his golden flutes.
Well, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because mine, I think, definitely needs service or something going on. It's got a few sticky keys. Oh, I've been really struggling today. I've been doing high F and I can't do it because it's all about the mouth shape. Oh. And it's just going like, it's either really low or then it will go. So
Sound like you're having an enema.
Well, it's just awful. And then I did get it a little bit, and then I forgot how to do D. So poor Caitlin sitting in the front room trying to work. All she could hear was weird noises.
Yeah, we've been putting
like
up with
you
that
said the other day.
Years.
Yeah, how did any child ever learn an instrument? It's just, you feel like you're getting somewhere with a few notes and you've got, maybe 4 notes under your belt, and then they introduce a 5th one and it all just goes to flipping rubbish again, I tell you.
No, I remember when I was using programming language C#.
Yeah.
Years ago, and someone said, "Oh yeah, you're at that really interesting stage. You're about to make that brilliant breakthrough." Thinking, yeah, which is the breakthrough you're just about to tell me about. Point me in the direction of. And she went, "Yeah, you'll just love it when it hits you." Yeah, 52 still not happened.
I thought you were going to give us like the big reveal then.
No, I never found it.
You haven't seen the light.
Just not happening. I learnt something else instead.
You gave up. Yeah. That'd be me. That would be me.
I did something else instead, and bless me, I'm still doing it now. That'll teach you.
If you're getting by without it, then what's the problem, eh? We don't mind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I've been working on my blankie.
All right.
Yesterday I did the button band.
Mm-hmm.
So I've knitted the band, doubled it, folded it over, and then put the buttonholes in.
The double buttonholes, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've just today picked up the rib for the top. You see that?
Yeah.
So once that's done, then I'll just sew up the bottom and then find some buttons and it's finished.
Awesome. I'm pleased with it.
Yeah, I mean it's looking all right. It's difficult to tell at the minute because the needle's a bit too small for the amount of stitches, so it's difficult to lay it out and have a really good look. But I am quite pleased with it. I think it looks, reasonable. What do you think?
I think it looks nice, but I think just as importantly, it's got enough cable to be interesting, but not enough that it wouldn't put somebody off from having a go.
And once you've got it, because it's only a 6 pattern repeat, 6 row pattern repeat, it's easy. It is easy once it's in your head.
Oh, that's quite good then. That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I've enjoyed making it actually.
Well, that's good. See if we've got any comments. No comments today.
Is there anyone with us apart from that really awful Emma Jane Sadler?
Christine might be with us. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Anyone else to see her.
Have you heard from Helen?
Now then, she was possibly going to be in for another 4 or 5 days.
Oh, she must be beside herself.
They must have. They've got a central lining.
Right.
And they think that that's causing a problem with blood pressure or something else.
So they might have to take it out.
They were talking about taking that out, but that then means she's got to have a cannula, and which, no knitting.
Cannulas aren't nice anyway. Last time I had one, it must have moved.
Aren't they?
and all the liquid that was supposed to be going into my vein just ended up on the back of my hand, and I had a big lump.
It's not nice, is it?
My mum had one of those central lines in for a couple of years, I think it was. They just never took it out. She went home with it, and you know, and then when she had to go, because she had sepsis a couple of years back, and she was in hospital quite a bit, and then they did think that she was going to lose her foot because that's where it originated from.
Right.
And then they just get the sepsis under control and send her home, and then it'd flare up again. And she's not had a good time of it for at least 2 years, because I remember going down in the summer and she was in hospital then. And that was not summer gone I'm talking about the one before that.
Right.
So so she had one in, I think it was on her back, on her shoulder. Something.
That doesn't sound pleasant, does it?
I know. The whole thing didn't sound pleasant, really, to be honest. And she's diabetic. She's insulin-dependent diabetic. And they kept sending her dinners that were completely inappropriate for her.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the news. They're talking about the link with obesity at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, there's been quite a bit about obesity, and I can absolutely understand it, because I know through bitter experience, I spent a lifetime sleeping on my stomach.
Right, okay.
It hurts to lie on my back.
Right.
But now I have to sleep on my side, because if I lie on my stomach, I've got too much flubber going on, and I get acid reflux.
Oh. That's going to keep you awake.
Yeah, so I know that there's something there absolutely straight away that I have to deal with. But yeah, I would imagine if you're carrying a lot more weight and you don't walk or any of the rest of it, that you're not going to have the energy to fight it off. I mean, fair enough, you'll have calories in your body that it can exist on, but you might not have the muscular strength, or or it may be causing other problems. I don't know.
Well, they were saying today that the biggest the biggest proportion of deaths has been in men over 55 who are over a certain BMI.
Yeah.
And then, did you see the thing about nicotine?
Typically, sorry?
Did you see the thing about nicotine?
No.
There's some kind of link about nicotine, like protecting you from it or something, or I'm not quite sure. They don't really know what's going on, but France have banned the sale of all patches and gum, because they're thinking that they might be needed in a medicinal capacity soon.
Oh. It's a bit tough if you're giving up smoking, isn't it?
It is a bit tough if especially if you really, really suffering with it. Especially like you're stuck at home, you can't go anywhere, you can't even distract yourself from the cravings.
And any addiction, whether that's food, alcohol, or whatever, is going to be a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, because normally, if you're trying not to give in to the cravings, you'd be able to get up, go out, maybe meet someone, go for a walk, go do something to take your mind off of it, but you can't, you're stuck.
Well, you can phone a friend.
You can phone a friend. Chris Tarrant. Are you going to phone Chris Tarrant?
No.
Don't phone Jeremy Clarkson, because he's rubbish. He doesn't know any of the answers.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be my kind of friend. I don't like him.
He's a bit of a... Well, I won't say the word.
I could phone a friend. I could do that. But, I don't know. It's like anything else. If you've got a powerful craving, you have to be careful which friend you phone, because there's some friends that'll go, oh, just have one.
It'll be fine. That would be me.
Yeah, just have one. Just have one. It's only one. It's only one.
It's only one. It's all right.
Yeah, it's just one. And that's
So
the problem, isn't it?
your cookie's gone down well.
Yeah, I may have made a purchase.
Tell.
Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
I'll have to wander across the room and grab it.
Is it a dog?
It's a bit big. No.
Oh.
No,
Right.
I don't think people should be getting dogs at the moment. I
thought you'd got a lockdown dog.
No, I've had 4 emails from people asking if I've got any puppies for sale.
Really?
But I'm technically a registered breeder, but I haven't bred these 2.
Right.
I made a decision not to. And I have no intention of doing it again. So I think there are far too many charlatans out there. But that's another story. I'll take my earphones off, run across the room.
Okay. I'm getting excited now. I wonder if it's a yarny purchase. She's not really been anywhere. I bet it's something that I'm jealous of. The excitement is just brewing right now. I'm just saying my excitement is just brewing. It's uncontainable.
Is it? No,
yeah. I'm wondering where you've been in order to make a purchase.
I made an online purchase. You don't know me very well at all, do you? When do I go to shops unless it's for... I'm not a browser.
No, me neither. I don't like going to the shops just to have a look round.
I mean, if I'm in Ulverston and the market hall's open and it's a regular week, then I'll pop into Steve Pat and I'll probably come away with some wool of some description. But I'm not really going wool shopping. I'm really going just to Steve Pat. I just want to take
I am really getting excited now.
What?
Oh, wow.
I don't know that I'm going to make that blanket.
Is that what they call the cabin thingy?
No, it's Lucy's Attic 24 log cabin.
Log cabin, that's it.
So, here's the enormous bag.
Wow. You've got some gorgeous colours in there. Now that is definitely what you call a rainbow of colours.
Yeah, but I was thinking, because I quite like doing the granny stripe. She did a version of the granny stripe in these colours.
Right, okay.
So I may do that, but I don't know. I mean, I do like to mix it up. There's enough to make a single bed size blanket 120 by 180 centimetres.
Wow.
It says. And you can choose to do the log cabin or any of the other blankets. And there's 18 balls. Claret, lipstick, bright pink, spice, shrimp, gold, citron, lime, meadow, sage, petrol, aster, turquoise, violet, wisteria, fondant, plum and magenta. So,
is petrol the one that
I got? Didn't you get Empire?
Oh yeah, I got Empire, yeah. Petrol sounds
not that I know my Stylecraft at all.
Nah, not at all. It's this lockdown blanket number 3.
Possibly. The thing is, I've got somewhere. Is it the Cozy Stripe pack upstairs?
Right.
And I've got 2 of the Eastern Jewels. I think that's the Jamie Crow pattern. In brighter colours, but somebody else, maybe Lucia from the Fig Tree or somebody, did the alternative brighter colours. But it takes about 8 to 10 hours to do one of the, I think they're octagons.
Right.
And it took an awful lot of concentration. And so I kind of bought it with the thought of stuff it in a box, and I'll do that when I retire. And it doesn't matter if it takes me a whole day to do an octagon.
Because you'll have time to do it.
Yeah, but I thought with something like this, if I did the log cabins, they're quite big squares. and that wouldn't be quite as bad. But there are a lot
Yeah.
of them to weave in, so I'm mulling over whether to do that or the sunny coloured granny stripe.
Right. Well, either way, gorgeous colours.
They are fun. I just freeze them. So yeah,
Frozen.
I was quite excited at the thought of all the colours. But then I think, well, now I've got to make it.
I'm sure you'll be fine once you get going. You've not got castanitis.
That's what I've usually got. And I haven't done any more on this. I'm still at my Lincoln Green, which is a bit.
Is that because you've been doing your mask mates?
Because I've been doing my mask mates. I spent a few evenings.
Yeah.
And then it took me an hour sorting through bags of buttons to find buttons that were big enough. And I've got a load of them on the table with the buttons sewn on. And whilst some of them might be the same colour, there's definitely nothing on there that matches. They're the same size, hopefully.
Well, to be fair, that's probably about as much as you can hope for at the moment.
Well, it is. I've had it away basically with all of the larger buttons out of my stash. So I've got a handful over by the skybox, probably enough to do buttons for another 10, and then I'll have to think again about whether I make the little crochet flowers instead of buttons. I'll say to people, if you want to pick them up and sew on your own buttons, please do. Or I'll post them to you or whatever.
That could be a option. Oh, Rita's with us. She says hello.
Oh, hey, Rita.
On a Tuesday afternoon.
Hello, hello. So what time of day is it for you, Rita?
Oh, yeah. Is it probably still morning time?
I might be sneaking a second latte.
Are you allowed 2 lattes in one day?
Not really.
Oh, dear. Mind you, I can't talk. I had another half a pot of coffee again, all to myself.
Right.
This morning. So I walked. You what?
Was it good?
It was tasty. Well, I walked Arthur come in, and then I sat on the bed and watched the news and wrote my shopping list and thought about what I needed to do today to be, at least semi-productive. And then I went for a run on the treadmill.
Right.
So between coming in from the dog walk and going on the treadmill, I drank probably quite a lot of coffee, about 4 cups of coffee.
That's not like you at all. Oh, it's just after 11 where Rita is.
All right, cool. I did say
a little early for a grown-up beverage. Although we are in quarantine, so the rules have moved slightly. And Helen's with us. Hello, Helen.
Woo woo. Helen's
How are you feeling today? Are you still? It is Tuesday, is it? Is it Tuesday?
It's Tuesday, yeah.
And you're tubed up. Are you still tubed
up? Tuesday. Didn't Helen call it that last week?
Yeah, we didn't twig, did we?
We didn't twig, no. Well, I definitely am. Tubed up Tuesday.
Yeah, how out of it was I? Never mind.
Well, I thought it possibly could have been a spelling mistake instead of a T. I thought, but it's a bit early for jokes like that. So, those are for knit night only.
Right, so Helen says they've just removed the central line. Is that a good thing? Or does that mean you've now got cannulas in your
and that's no knitting?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I hope it's a good thing because it'll stop any spikes in blood pressure and silly
and
things like
whatnot.
that you're wanting to keep nice and calm. Although I don't know about you, Emma, but I get white coat syndrome. I just have to see a doctor and my blood pressure's up.
Well,
Fine, the
mine
rest
is
of
if they're good looking.
well, yeah, I suppose if it was George Clooney or somebody doing the checkup.
I just, I like a nice handsome man in scrubs.
Yeah, I'd be stripped off and he'd be
Not
going,
pink ones,
I just
though.
need your arm, Miss Birchall. Would you like to get dressed?
Yeah,
No.
I don't like pink scrubs. There's something wrong with pink scrubs. Scrubs should be blues or greens.
Well, I suppose at the moment they're just glad of any old scrubs, aren't they? One of the ladies in Asda was saying that people are coming in and buying sheets and duvet covers and things like that. And then she said, "Oh, the one lady, are you doing your bedroom up?" And she said, "No, we're donating them to the Scrub Hub."
All right.
And
So
it had unicorns and pineapples
I was
and
going to
things.
say they could have all sorts on, couldn't they? I've got deer on my bedding. So
Okay, so Helen says it's good and bad. Cannula is now needed, but they don't like keeping them in more than 5 or 6 days as they may get infected. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, isn't it? So does that mean though that you'll get to go home faster?
anything that hopefully will mean a quicker discharge is good.
Discharge from hospital for anyone that's just joined us.
Yeah. I love the fact that you're always clarifying my dodgy language. It's like when I have bottom issues and
you're going on about quicker discharge. Well,
yeah, you can have quick discharge because I haven't got any bottom issues anymore.
No, you haven't. No, sorted all of those out now.
Yeah, and getting the clap on a Thursday.
No, that's me, isn't it, with the clap?
Yeah, you get the clap. I'll have the discharge. You have the clap. It'll be fine.
Okay, it's fine. Helen's got the cannulas, so yeah.
Yeah, I think she's got the raw end of the deal, to be honest.
I think she has, but what a club to be in. Seriously, need to do something else. And for anyone that's just joined, I've received a yarn pack in the post today, so let me just swap screen so I can see what's happening with my video.
It just looks so joyful sat like that in the bucket, doesn't it?
It does.
So it's only 4 squares put together.
Oh no, it's lots more than that, but she's just.
I was going to say, because I thought that made me think that the squares were really, really big. If it was 4 squares to make a single bed size.
16 large log cabin squares for a single bed size blanket.
Right, so that's okay then. I was going to say they'll take you forever to do one single square at that.
Yeah, they'll be whoppers, won't they?
Yeah.
But I may not do the log cabin. I may decide to just do Lucy from Attic 24's granny stripe blanket like this one that's behind me.
Rainbow one.
That one. On the basis that she's done a version with the 18 colours. But you know what I'm like with my colours. I'll probably have to alter the order that they're in. Because
of course.
I want them my way.
Anything different. It's your way or the highway, isn't it? You are your mother's daughter.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I did almost laugh out loud when someone had posted on Facebook, my relationship has not suffered during the lockdown. I bet nobody else can share this. And I was tempted to just share it and say, well, actually, mine hasn't suffered because he's not here.
Yeah, same with mine.
Yeah, it's all fine.
It's fine. Although, to be fair, we have had a few dodgy phone calls, but yeah, it's all good at the minute.
Yeah, but you asked me not to phone you like that again, and I've stopped.
I know, you did. You did listen. I went and just said, oh, that flipping Loraine, I tell you.
Snuggle
Oh,
under the blanket. It's a little bit cooler outside today. It's
it
definitely
is
damp.
colder today. We haven't had the rain though. It hasn't come this far up yet.
We haven't had the rain, and it was on at 70% this morning. Get rid of that and see if that colour balance changes. It's suddenly very warm, hasn't it, on my camera? I don't know what that's about. Maybe try that light. That's more like it.
There we go. You look like you're under a sun lamp. Are you trying to get some vitamin D in?
I do feel I'm getting a tan from the fridge light.
Yeah.
Is anybody else getting a tan from the fridge light? It can't just be me.
Are you wearing off enough calories as you go from the sofa to the fridge and back again constantly? Because I'm definitely not wearing off enough. I'm definitely putting in more than I'm using out.
I kind of feel that what I should do is fasten with duct tape some big weights to my ankles, so that when I do get up to go to the fridge for chocolate or just to stare at it hoping that something nice suddenly pops out, or that someone will come up with a recipe for coffee shoe buns made from cauliflower and courgette.
Oh yeah.
That I've burnt off some calories at least. I've been doing my walking workout every day. Some days I do 15 minutes, some days I do 30 minutes. I haven't done any of the body weight ones this week, but I was going to do Wednesday, Friday, Sunday this week.
Right. So, that's all right then. I actually had to force myself to get on the treadmill this morning, because the last 2 days I've said to you I'm going to have a run in the morning and I haven't. And then this morning I thought, I can't go 3 days without having one. It's just lazy. There's no reason not to. So I just said to myself, like I do, just go on for like 10 minutes and just see how you feel. But I did all right. I did half an hour. And then on my cool down, I turned the speed right down and just walked. But I was like doing things with my arms, like doing circles with them and, some movements around. So my arms were aching at the end as well. So I feel like I actually did a good thing. Oh, hi, Sally.
Sally, I don't know if anybody follows Sally Cowell, but she's been making some cushion covers for their camper thing. And it's an absolutely fantastic fabric. It's totally gorgeous. She's doing an amazing job. So yeah, definitely check that out.
I wish I was so much better at sewing than I am.
Yeah, I think with the arms up and stuff, could you use some small hand weights?
Well, I did consider, I've got hand weights in there, but they were behind me and I'd already set my cool down off and I couldn't be bothered. So I just stood there and I was just like doing like circles and, giving it all this and giving it all that. So it was hurting, but definitely I'm going to get more organised for next time I go on and make sure I've got my hand weights and in fact I've got those the Velcro ones that you can put on your ankles or your wrists. I've got some of those somewhere as well. I should get those out because I definitely want to do something more with my arms. Like my legs look all right. I'm quite happy with my legs, but I've definitely got a bit of bingo wing going on, a bit of this. Yeah. So yeah, it needs a little bit of work, shall we say. Why doesn't knitting give you muscular arms?
I don't know. It's
great really
for your mental health, so
yes, so, but we knew that anyway.
Yeah, of course we did.
Yeah,
we absolutely know these things.
Yeah.
So Helen's laughing at me. She says I can't go home with my cannulas in. No, absolutely not. And who would want to? No, they're definitely something to leave behind at the hospital. They're really not fun. How are you getting on with your sock knitting? Have you felt like doing any? Or? Rita, are you making anything at the moment? Sally, did you sort out the fabric you needed for your cushions? I'm sure she said she'd got to the stage of having run out.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Disaster.
I don't know whether that means she can get more fabric or not, because it's one of those things, isn't it?
What would you do? It's just awful.
It's such a beautiful fabric though, but there's so many colours in it. You could work a plain or a less of
like as a contrast or something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a geometric with triangles.
I'm just in awe of anyone who can do amazing things with fabric like that. Such talent.
Well, you should check out Sally's tweedy bags.
Yes. I think I might have some of Sally's. I think my little notions bag is one of Sally's.
Is it?
I think so. I can't remember. I don't know if Sally will remember or not. But I seem to think it was. But I could have just made that up. You know what I'm like? I make stuff up all the time. So I've probably just, appropriated something there that wasn't right. It's not even in here. I'll have to get it tomorrow and show you.
Be fine. Be absolutely fine.
It's sitting on my bed with my pencil, my scissors, my needles, things like that inside it.
Sensible place to put it.
Well, yeah.
So what have you been watching on the Jelly Belly?
Like I say, I was watching some James Galway, listening to his flaunting. And Caitlin and I watched that movie. When was that? Sunday night? Midsummer?
Oh, what did you think?
Have you seen it?
I've seen a couple of minutes of it, and I was on my own and thought this was not the thing to watch on my own.
It wasn't scary like I thought it was going to be. It was just weird. And it was an 18, and I knew it was an 18 when I put it on. I mean, Caitlin's 17. Well, she'll be 17 in weeks. But I thought it was 18 because it was scary. I thought it was going to be all murder and, weird things happening.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah.
But at one point, it was almost pornographic.
Really?
And it was quite awkward sitting and watching it with your teenage daughter, where there's like a man and woman having sex surrounded by lots of other women completely naked and doing weird things, and one of them went and got hold of his bottom and was basically pushing his bottom, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, this is really the thing to be watching with my daughter.
Yeah, it was feeling a bit ill at the thought of it.
Honestly, that was 2.5 hours that I will not get back. And if anyone said to me, "Oh, I'm thinking of watching it," I'd be like, "Well,
I'm going to take something else from that one then, because Rita said, nothing to do with bottoms, that she's working on her. Now, I never know if it's the Spiker or Speaker embossed bag, SPICA, and she's just come to the end of the third skein. It's a crochet one. The designer was in the gift along, and they're very heavily textured usually, and the embossing is usually sort of floral and things like that. It's an absolutely stunning pattern. She's got to the end of the third skein. So how much more of the bag is there left to do on that, Rita?
Is that one that you would maybe line, or do you not line it? Is it, because sometimes crochet can be quite a dense fabric, but sometimes it can be quite holey as well, can't it?
Oh, excuse me. Where did that cough come from?
From your boots.
It could have been. Right. Spiker bag. I'm going to go with
Spiker.
Oh. Oh, let me just put a link into that one, into the comments. Right,
can you put it on share screen?
It's a good question. Share a screen or a file. Application window. A Chrome tab. Chat. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing it actually in the gift along. Stunning,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Not gorgeous. I'll see if I can go and look at the details on that.
Unbelievable.
So, and I'll probably mess up this poor lady's name. Natalia Kononova.
Really makes you want to be able to crochet better, doesn't it?
It's just incredible, isn't it? I mean, she's just having the vision to do that. Isn't that amazing?
Unbelievable. So you're enjoying doing that, Rita? It looks like a fun project.
I'm just having a quick snack to see if I can see Rita's project in the
project store.
I might be.
It's the best bit about Ravelry.
It absolutely is, because well, and I have a special group of people on Ravelry. So, you know, you can sort of segment your friends on Ravelry.
Oh, right.
And I've got people I know through the after party, people I know through the gal, people who are designers, people who are not. And I have another group that's a custom group that I made.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's called My Shape.
Oh, right, okay. So when they make things that you think that might fit you, is that what you mean?
I might save them. Sometimes I save them. I'm going to sound awful now, because it's a shape I've liked the look of, and then I saw someone who's my shape wearing it and thought, oh my God, never.
Okay.
And I've seen it perhaps as a reminder to me mentally to never make that shape. But a lot of the time it's just to get an idea how something would look on me and think, yeah, that's good, add it to my queue.
Yeah.
So it looks like she's got 3 sets of leaves done.
Right.
So yeah, looking really good, Rita.
She's written here that she's done the embossed part, only a few more plain rounds at the top.
Even though it's densely crocheted, I will line it. Oh, so it was a purchase from the gift along. I thought it might be. But it's not a good TV watching project because every round is different. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. One that you have to concentrate on. See, I can't even listen to an audio book when I have to concentrate on my knitting, because I find that 10-15 minutes have gone by and I haven't got a clue what the narrator has said, and I end up having to rewind it and doing it again. I just have to have music on when I'm doing something like that.
Yeah. I was watching Netflix, something on Netflix last night.
Yeah.
I can't remember what. But it popped up with the, things you have in your list where there's new episodes. And there's a detective thing I think it's from Finland, and it's called Border Town. And a lot of it takes place either in Finland or Russia.
Yeah.
And the first 2 series have been dubbed into English.
Yeah.
And it's showing that there's new episodes start in May.
Right.
But it appears to be finished with subtitles. And I'm a bit gutted because it now can't be my knitting or crochet watching. It'll have to be something that I have to concentrate on because I have to read the screen now. Now, by the time it comes out, there may be the option of subtitles and dubbing and all the rest of it. I don't know. But at the moment, it just looks like it's only going to be subtitles, and the voice that I've heard for this man for 2 series isn't the same voice. He's actually got a lot
it's going to be changed, isn't it?
Harsher, more gruff voice.
Right, okay. Which
Well,
can
you know, it's
really
perfectly
change.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah, but it can change how you feel about a character.
yeah. So I'm sort of like this. I want to watch it because I want to know what happens.
Well, that's in my list. I haven't watched any of it yet, but
Well, the
it's
first
definitely
two
in my
series are
list.
very, very good. He's a little bit on the odd side, it has to be said.
Because
Bless
when
him.
I watch the TV when I'm knitting, I actually very rarely watch the TV. I'm normally looking at what's going on in my hands and just listening. And unless I get to the point where I am just knitting in the round or something,
Hmm.
then I'll watch the screen. But mostly I don't. So to
No,
be able to
generally,
read
yeah.
subtitles, it's a bit tricky, isn't it?
It is, and I don't know if anybody else does this. I'm such an idiot with it, but I find myself turning the volume up, and Michael say, "Why are you doing that? Because you're just reading what's on the screen anyway." And it's because unconsciously I'm trying to listen to the words that they say. Because, like said, the killing, the first series of that, there was a lot of the F word,
Right.
an awful lot of usage. Now, listening to it, it was different words every time. So there were quite a variety of swear words, some of them a lot milder and some of them more along the lines of, oh, you know, like move your bum. Well,
Yeah.
you know, children say that. It's not it's just a description of your bottom. It's not anything offensive or anything else.
Mm.
Um, but there were all sorts of levels of words. But whoever had either commissioned the translation had said, anything sweary is the F word because we don't want to pay you to do it properly.
Mm.
Or they just decided that, oh, I can't be bothered to do it right, so I'll just say that it's all this.
Which is a bit disappointing, really, because you can be very descriptive in swear words.
Well, you can, and that it's also denotes the level of frustration or anger or
Mm.
hatred, depending on the context. So
Yeah.
I did one of my famous email snotograms to the BBC,
Yeah.
and they have improved it in more
Right.
recent Scandi Crime, but I was quite cross.
Yeah, because it just ruins your enjoyment, doesn't it?
Well, I just think it's a bit rude because people over there don't talk like that with every other word, typically.
No,
And to kind of portray an entire nation like that, it's just a
it's
bit
just
ignorant.
lazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
so
not
you
on,
know,
is it?
no, I thought it was a bit cheeky. Got any other comments? Mm.
So, yes, that movie was Sunday. Like I say, I was watching James Galway last night. That was Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Tonight I'll be shopping, so I won't get a chance to watch any telly tonight. I'll just come in and I'll just read my book tonight, I think. I like to read before I go to sleep. Although it seems to be taking me an inordinate amount of time to finish this one book that I started before we even went into lockdown, and I've still got 200 pages left of it.
right.
It's a good book. It's well written. The story's good. It's an Anne Cleeves one of the Shetland ones. But I just every time I pick it up, I get about 3 pages in and I'm falling asleep. I don't know what's going
Is,
on with me.
is that part of your bedtime routine?
It is. I do like to read before I go to sleep. Like turn all the screens off, turn all the noise off, and just sit with my book. But I like to try and get about half an hour to an hour, not 10 minutes.
You must have just been tired. I mean, you have to be
I
kind
have
to
been very
yourself.
tired.
Yeah, we are all in strange times, let's face it.
Because I'm still dying to read this one that Michelle lent me,
She's
but
very good.
I haven't been able to finish the other book, so I can't get onto that yet. So
It's just a shame they didn't do the whole thing with Henry Cavill reading it on the Audible book. I would have
yeah,
definitely gone for that, but hey,
maybe
never
he'd
mind.
had enough. Maybe he didn't want to do any more other things to
Well,
do.
you'll have to post a photo of your notions bag.
I will. I will post a photo. I'm sure it's one of Sally's. I think I got my dad a wallet from her as well.
Maybe.
I will investigate.
Yeah. Well, she's showing a little bag kit from the little craft shed in Ulverston. My friend Jackie goes there for classes.
Yeah.
And buys lots of quilty stuff. And I look at all the colours and go, yeah, that goes with that, that goes with that, that goes with that, that goes with that. And love it. And then come away and going, yeah, I'm not making it. I've got to the stage where Nicola Sturgeon has announced that people should really wear masks or a face covering if they're going out in Scotland.
Oh, right.
So it's going to happen here where there's mandatory face covering, I think. I understand that they're holding off because the PPE situation is a joke at best, even trying to be kind about it. It's an utter bloody shambles. And they've just mismanaged it from the start. And to allow the stocks to dwindle that low, when they knew this was coming, is beyond ridiculous. But the private sector, small companies and people like that have really leapt to the challenge. So maybe there's a lesson there about local procurement.
I think so, although the last I heard on the news this morning that there was a load of locally made PPE going in aeroplanes to America because of the latest, I offered it to the UK and the government never took me up sort of thing. And then there was a minister on there this morning, this is on ITV, and I think she was the safeguarding minister. I'd never heard of her. And apparently she didn't even know what that Operation Cygnus was. You know, the one that they did about 4 years ago when Theresa May was in charge. And they did the planning for a pandemic that comes from China or from the Middle East or whatever, the Far East, sorry. And Piers Morgan, he has been getting on my nerves recently, but this morning he was all right because he's going to so what about Operation Cygnus? And she's like, I don't know what's Operation Cygnus. And he's going, are you telling me you've never heard of Operation Cygnus? And she's like, no, I don't know what this is. I mean, come on. You'd think that they would be all over it, wouldn't you, at the moment?
Yeah, like the virus.
And she just, well, yeah. But she didn't have a clue. She didn't have a Scooby-Doo. And then the thing that's really worrying me, because right at the beginning, when they kept saying, oh, children are fine, children aren't affected by it, they can still go to school and they can do this, that and the other. Have you heard about that? That worrying,
sepsis. Yeah,
the thing that's very similar to Kawasaki.
Yeah.
I said this right at the beginning. I said, yes, you might think at the moment that they're all right. I said, but you don't know what the long-term damage is. You could see in 10, 15 years down the line, a load of people who were children during this coming through with heart defects and stuff.
Oh, sorry, I was watching what was going on in the background. There was a load of clumping of the metal bits of my desk, and the dogs had their bed under that. Mocha was having a big dream and banging her head on the metal bits of the desk while she was dreaming.
Oh, she's just superb, isn't she? You've got to love her.
I know. I have days where I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I did have a bit of a fun task this morning.
Go on then.
Well, I mentioned about Dale, the bus driver for the X12, the charity thing, Friends of X112, the bus route I'm involved in.
Yeah.
And Dale has been fighting for his life and finally was off the ventilator last week. And
good.
Tracheotomy and every time they tried to wake him up, he fought them.
Right.
But that shows he's got some fight left, so I take that as a good sign.
Good.
So they did the tracheotomy to handle the breathing and then took the ventilation tube out and then woke him up.
Right.
They usually like to gradually wake you while they do the other stuff, but as they gradually walk him, he was beating them off with a stick or whatever.
Right.
Bless him. In his own mind, he was defending himself. So
Yeah.
but he's up and sitting for brief periods each day. His wife is able to FaceTime him. I don't know that he's able to actually speak to her yet, but she's been joking with him about how we want him back at work next week and stuff like this. So various members of the committee had been out social distancing and taking videos of some of the passengers. So I stitched together a little video in Camtasia this morning. There's a little welcome from me because he's not actually met me. And just a message from everybody. And then I've read out a message from Janet Jenkinson, one of the councillors who supported it. I think Ben Shirley, one of the councillors over at Askham, which is one of our newer routes that we've taken on, is doing a video later today. But Anne Hall had been to see 3 different ladies to get messages from them. So I've been cutting out all of the, are you filming? What are you filming for? I'm not doing it yet.
Love it.
So that it sort of flows together. And she sent me these files and she said, I don't know what you're going to do with this. It actually looked quite good. And what really made me smile is that Roger and Barbara, Barbara's the lady who started it all off in the first place. So it's all her fault in terms of being involved. But her husband Roger is the treasurer. So he looks after all the money and stresses himself half to death over it most of the time. But they're total technophobes. He's only just come onto Facebook because he's sort of been forced to. But bless them, they sat down and on her phone they recorded a really nice little video for Dale. So I'm just really proud of them for giving it a go.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so once we've got Ben's, I don't know whether he'll get a quick message from the MP or because he works for Simon. I don't know. It'd be nice if he did, but I didn't ask him, so it's not something I'm expecting. And Ben's involved on a regular basis, so hopefully I'll be able to load that up to YouTube tonight and then send the link, and then Debbie and Dale can watch that at their leisure.
That's lovely. It's really nice.
I do make the observation that got rather a lot of videos from women of a certain age, you know. So
obviously popular with that demographic.
Hurry up back to your harem, you know.
Yeah.
Apparently, one of the ladies said there'll be a mountain of white chocolate waiting for you when you get back. Thinking, flaming heck, the perks of this bus driving now can't bad, are they? You don't like white chocolate. Do you think it's not proper chocolate?
It's not. Chocolate needs cocoa in it, and there's no cocoa. It's just fat and sugar.
No, it's the cocoa butter.
Yeah.
It's the fat from the chocolate.
Yeah, no, not a fan.
Oh, well, it's for Dale anyway. I'm not getting any. So.
Well, that's all right then. He can have it. We'll let him.
Yeah. So it was kind of fun doing that.
Oh, it sounds brilliant. What is it the Welsh say there? It's lovely.
Yeah, so has anybody been Zooming and quizzing with families and sort of doing stuff to stay connected and keep in touch with one another? Have you got any funny stories? One of the guys I know, Michael Heckle, had shared a video, a Zoom call with his family, and his mother, I guess she must be in her 90s now, started reading a poem from the Northeast. And the last word, it was about Newcastle United.
Oh, yeah.
And what was it? Yeah. And it's something along the lines of, you know, we don't mind the empty grounds because we've always been shite. And there's this stunned pause in the video as he shared it, and then everybody burst out laughing. They were absolutely howling because they didn't expect her to say it, obviously.
But she did.
And you know, absolutely brilliant that she's getting on there and having a go.
Exactly. Oh, bless.
I think it's funny, really. I mean, I suppose longer term in the new normal, we need to look at universal basic income. We need to look at paying the people at the front line properly. And I'm gratified that they've done this 60k payment for anybody who's paid the ultimate price. And obviously that's in addition to any death in service benefits or pension payouts or any of the other stuff that they'd normally be entitled to anyway. But it frustrates me that we can find £60,000 when someone's died, but we couldn't find the PPE to protect them in the first place.
I know, but I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but I just worry about that word eligible.
Yeah.
I'm
How
really
many
worried.
are not going to get it?
Yeah.
How many are not going to get it because they're not permanent residents of the UK? Yeah, you can come and die here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just, yeah. We'll see. Time will tell, won't it? I suppose. And I'm torn. I go from one day thinking, do you know what? They're doing a really good job in difficult circumstances, and I think they're doing great, and blah blah blah. And then the next minute, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
I know.
So,
I mean, it's easy with hindsight to be very hypercritical of people, isn't it? And it's really easy to sit on our sofa or whatever and go, well, I'd have done it differently.
Well, but yeah, that's why I just.
We don't know what appalling advice they were given or what they followed.
The whole we are just following the science thing is really beginning to grate, though.
Yes.
Because they're not following the science. They are being advised, and then they are deciding to do things based on resources.
Yeah. So that business with the PPE guidance, that COVID-19 has been removed from the highest level of infection so that they can reduce the PPE that's being used. And that is not science-led, because it was the wrong committee that made that judgment, and they wholly admit that it's based on the fact that we've got no bloody PPE and we've completely and utterly, as a country, ballsed it up.
Yeah, basically.
I just
stop using that phrase. It's just not going to cut it with us anymore, I'm afraid.
No, it's
just
not.
To be honest.
Did you see the article? It keeps disappearing from Facebook, but it's from a genuine news source, and it's an interview with a Nobel science person whose name I can't remember right this second, but I've got the link somewhere. And he says that the various markers in the DNA, for want of a better expression, of COVID-19, some of it's based on HIV. He's convinced that this was developed in a lab.
I'm not fully surprised by that, because weren't they trying out HIV treatments on patients with COVID-19 to see if it, because that's an antiviral, isn't it? HIV is a virus.
Yeah.
And the treatments are antiviral, and whatever it was that they used to treat it, I'm sure that they were giving to COVID patients as well to see if it helped. So I'm not surprised that that's come out.
Yeah, but that would be worrying if that were the case, that somebody
made
it.
It would. But then there's been rumours circulating that it's man-made since it first surfaced.
Yeah.
And you know what they often say
this from the very start.
You know, they often say no smoke without fire.
Yeah, and he lays the blame in one particular corner, and he says that's where it's come from. So I don't know.
Okay.
It'll all come out in the wash, won't
it? If my mum has anything to do with it, she'll probably be blaming it on Prince Philip.
Oh,
because she seems to blame everything on Prince Philip.
Oh wow.
I'm sure that it's not him.
Sure.
For once. I could be wrong, you know, like I say, I'm quite often wrong. But
did I tell you I started my shawl thing yesterday?
No, I've got a cracking headache.
Well, I printed the pattern and I started, and you cast on 37 stitches, and then you follow the instructions. You knit one row, which is your first row, and takes you back to the right side.
Yeah.
All good. But then you do a knit front and back, and then you do yarn over, knit two together, and then finish with a yarn over. But that then leaves you with 2 stitches at the end, and you're 1 stitch short for what you need. So you either need a yarn over, knit 1 and no increase to get the stitch count that they've got, or you need to move where your yarn overs are, because it doesn't work. I drew it out on a piece of paper and then put it into Stitch Mastery, and the numbers don't add up.
Oh, how frustrating.
Is this just me? So I've ripped it back, and I'll have another go another day.
Oh, that's frustrating, isn't it?
Well, I was hoping to be able to show you. Sorry, I'm scratching my face. Got an itchy patch. I'll have to scrub my hands afterwards, won't I?
You will.
Yeah, I was hoping to have something to show you in terms of colour and stuff today, where I've maybe got some of the blues and greens showing up a bit better in the garter stitch, and maybe a little bit of cream mixed in, and I was quite excited at the thought about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's disappointing. Maybe another day.
Yeah, I'm going to keep looking at it and thinking, am I just wrong? Maybe I'm just wrong. Yeah.
Have you looked, are there other projects on Ravelry? Has anybody put anything in their project notes?
No, nobody's made it, I don't think.
Right. That's frustrating. That's the first thing I do, is go and have a look and see if anybody else has.
Yeah, well, it's a drops pattern, and they're sort of infamous for sparse information.
Oh, yeah, drops patterns. Yeah, say no more.
Yeah, so
I have
actually
just got this cracking headache here right now. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like, literally just here. Oh.
It looks like red.
Well, that's probably where I've been rubbing it. Yeah, I've just been sitting here doing this. Yeah, I touch my face all the time. What?
Well, somebody's got to.
Well, nobody else is going to other than me, are they? Let's be honest. Or Arthur will touch my face.
Arthur, maybe.
Callum touches my face all the time. I've told him that, because like he'll boop my nose and stuff, and I go, "Oi, are you trying to kill me? Go away." I'm old.
You need a nice 2 metre nice t-shirt.
Yeah. What?
Arthur's hungry.
Yeah, it is 10 to 5.
Yeah, it's that time of day. Well, thanks everybody. I'm sorry we went a bit off tangent there with COVID. But
oh, do you know, it's me. I'm sorry. It's just the thing that's on your mind, isn't it? I suppose. And
I suppose we're all thinking about it at the moment, so never mind.
All avenues.
If there are any bits you don't like, just fast forward.
Yeah, and just tell us to shut up about it next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, tell us to belt up. We're not precious about any of it.
Yeah,
so.
talk about yarn more. Write that in the comments, and we will.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, and then on Thursday night, it's the end of Cowabunga.
Oh yeah, I can't believe that's come around so quickly.
We'll be announcing the prizes on Friday in our afternoon live.
So everyone's got till Thursday night to finish off, haven't they?
They have, yeah. So, lovely to see you, Rita. Thank you. But we've not bored you with our moaning about politics. Bless.
I do need telling off. You just have to keep reminding me, get off your soapbox, woman.
Well, occasionally, sometimes it's just relevant, and other people are perhaps thinking it but don't voice it, so let's not worry. But we'll be back tomorrow.
We will.
We'll see you all then, and we'll be there on Thursday to finish off with the Cowabunga party night. Friday with the big prizes. Who gets what? And I suppose then it'll be the trip to the post office, won't it?
It will, yeah. Well, people have to let us know where to send them first, I suppose. So
Yeah. We'll need to give people time to get in touch and do all sorts of other bits. And we've got a couple of prize codes to award for whips and foes. Oh,
whips and foes, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll be back to Moz.
All right, see you soon.
See you later. Toodles.
Okay. Stop recording.